So for most of my life, from what I can remember, anything that I've touched or was into, I'm all in. Smoking cigarettes, smoking like a champ, smoking like crazy. Drinking, gotta drink hard, drink a lot. Growing up dealing with a lot of things that obviously were never dealt with, like the death of my father. Dealing with all this stuff and not knowing how to deal with it. Just feeling like just a failure in general. Pretend, right? Big smile, even if you're not happy. That's just what people do. For the most part, I'm battling demons like crazy. My name is Waylon Bougie. This is not only my story, but it's my confession. I never knew which version of myself was going to show up that night. It was one of three normally. It would have been I'm the life of the party, like the best guy you'd want around for sure, or I could be mega emotional and just this blubbering idiot crying, or I could be a monster. Life of the party, Waylon. Great guy. You know, everyone wants to be around him. Shots, drinking all night. Let's go. Like, let's do shots. Everyone, you don't want to do shots. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to make you do shots. We're going to have drink so much that we're just having an absolute riot. Everybody wants to be around you. Like, just, you know, just an overall great guy. The emotional Waylon, all of a sudden, you know, could just start talking about something, and then all of us just super passionate start coming out, being sad, crying. All of a sudden I start bringing up, you know, my past or things that have happened in my life, and now I'm, you know, just sobbing about it. If I've ever done something like wrong to someone that could be so minimal of a thing, I'm going to blow it up into something huge, and I'm not gonna let it go. I apologize and about it. I'm sorry. I'm tearing up about it. Just wouldn't matter. Could be anything that could just make me all of a sudden just be sad and ruin the night. The monster could come out at any time. If I didn't agree with you, if we're having a conversation and I, you know, didn't agree with you, I'm going to let you know what I think, whether it's, you know, good or not, but I was 10 feet tall and bulletproof, right? I couldn't be touched. So I'm going to let you know what I think if I don't like you per se, or was kind of not feeling you. As soon as the drinks start happening, you're going to know that. I'm going to be a jerk, be an idiot. If I'm sitting over across the table and, you know, I'm getting the whole, like, you've had enough kind of look, I'm going to see red, and then it's over. I think I knew it was a problem for a very long time, whether I wanted to admit it or not, because you can be, you know, oh, 6-pack probations here and there. I'm not going to drink liquor. I'm only going to have 2. That's it. Like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I've said I'm sorry probably, well over like 1,000+ times. And that's being generous, because I used it so there's no substance left in the word. June 15th, 2014, I had, you know, my family was over here helping me build a shed, and we were day drinking. Just, you know, normal people can handle day drinking. Everyone left for a bit to go get some food. I decided to start crushing vodka cranberries by myself until they got back. And when I would drink, it would be pretty quick. Once it hit my lips, the glass is done, and that's how I drank, like boom, 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 boom. So when everybody got back, my mother and all that, I guess I was being, from what I've been told, because I can't remember, I was being absolutely ridiculous with things I was saying, just being a complete jerk. So when I guess I was carried up my deck stairs and put to bed, and the next morning I woke up and my wife was sitting on the couch, and I walked down the hall and I looked at her, and she had this look on her face, and I was oblivious, and I said, "What's your problem?" She told me how much of an idiot I was and how embarrassing, and things I was saying, because my mother was there, and it was just awful. So, you know, it happened to be Father's Day that day. So I sat there and I went and, you know, I didn't say I was sorry because it means nothing. It came to such a point where that had to be the make or break, because she didn't need to put up with me anymore like that, and that's more important to me. So I went up to the cemetery and I tried to, I don't know, I guess have a talk. You know, talk to myself, talk to my father's grave, or whatever you want to call it. And I said, you know what, enough of me pretending I'm going to change for all these years that I've tried or pretended or this or that. Like, I'm going to do it this time, because it's things that matter most to me might not be there anymore. Like, they should have left a long time ago when they hadn't, and I didn't want to push it any further than I already had. So I said enough is enough. Jennifer, my wife, has stuck through me and beside me through thick and thin, through a lot of me being an idiot. Because when I said earlier that when, you know, you hurt the ones closest to you, when someone's saying maybe you've had enough, it was usually my wife that was the one telling me, you know, maybe don't have another drink, maybe you had enough, which would set me completely off and see red. So most of, like, arguing and whatnot when this monster would come out was just arguing and me being kind of a jerk to people. But for someone who got all of it when full-blown monster, it would be her. I would yell, scream, all sorts of things, just wars, blame it all on her because she's ruining the night, because I'm just out of my mind. And she's some reason stuck beside me through all that. So a lot of times the sorries were directed to her. I could only imagine how much she thought I was full of it every time, because the same thing could happen, you know, in the next weekend if it wanted to. So I feel as much as I owed it to myself to, you know, turn things around because I couldn't handle it, I definitely owed it to my wife. She's the best thing I've got, so I wouldn't want to, you know, it eventually had to come to a head where she was going to probably not be beside me anymore, and to think about that is terrible. It's extremely hard to think about that, so I'm glad that somehow she's strong enough to stick around with things that I put her through, because I don't think anyone else would have, that's for sure. Well, now that I've been sober for quite a while, life has been amazing. Like, I noticed a complete change in myself after that 6-month mark hit. Everything came extremely easy. Now my mind is better, my spirit's still getting worked on, but it's moving in the right place. Essentially smooth sailing, except for a couple mental bumps in the road, I guess. If you've recently quit drinking and are becoming sober, my advice, I guess, would be if it was easy, more people would be doing it. It's definitely not easy. Like, what worked for me is, you know, you need support from, I guess, your closest person. You got to believe in yourself. You have to give yourself the credit. You're putting in the work. Nobody else is putting in the work, so you need to give yourself the credit for sure. You got to believe in yourself, because you can do it. I'm proof you can do it, because I was a banana for a lot of years. So you can definitely do it. It is possible. For me, the first 6 months were as hard as hell, but if you can get past them, you know, it gets a lot smoother. It's almost like a breakup, you know, when you're all broken up. Like, for me, it's 6 months go on, you feel better, you're good to go. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but give yourself the credit, because you deserve the credit, like nobody else. You're doing it, and it is hard. It is really hard.